Okay, we're gonna go over how to put a belt on a GE dryer. So I have to take this thing apart. I busted a blower wheel while snaking it, and I did it because this thing is so nicely rounded that the snake went right in. The newer units have it on a big 90-degree angle so you can get in there with the snake. But anyway, so I do have to take the drum out. So here's the belt. We're gonna release the tensioner pulley. Most dryers I can do it from the front. I stick a hand there and there. This one is almost impossible to do it, but thanks God it has an access panel on the back, so I'll show you how the pulley looks like. Okay, this thing is pretty old and dusty because it's it's been a coin operating machine that's been running for 40 years. So here's the belt. Okay, so the way it goes, comes right here, goes around this pulley, it goes back up, and this is a tensioner pulley. So what we're gonna do, I push this down, and this guy comes right off. Voila! So if we have like this, you wonder what to do. Put this thing on here. Then I lower this guy. There you go. So most of them are like this. There's one really complicated one. Can't believe I think it's a G also. I was worried this is gonna be the one, but it's not. This one's pretty simple. So actually 90% of the dryers have this system here. So good luck, hope that helps. Oh yeah, by the way, and to take a drum out easily, I just lift it. Lift it on here, and it's impossible to do it with one hand, so I'm gonna need another one. And here you go, comes right out. I can take it for a walk. And that's how it looks on the inside. Looks like, yeah, probably it was a belt at some point. Chewed up all that black stuff there. Pulley looks good. So I'm gonna take the blower wheel off on this guy. So looks like I'm gonna have to take the whole motor out. Great. So I'm gonna take these screws off here. Probably these guys. Probably just to take the motor off the clamp here. But yeah, I'm gonna have to pull the motor back because this panel is solid. So take these screws here. Not these are just the glides that the drum is running on. Oh, look great for so old. So this guy and this guy and this guy, and this will come off, and hopefully I can just take these bolts out, and then, yeah, should be able to get this thing out. Oh, that was easier than I thought. Look at that. Well, we should just slide right off. Okay, I did have to take this screw out. That's a part of the assembly. And here you go, this whole thing is wiggling. Should be able to come out. I really don't want to take all the cables off the motor, so I'm gonna try to keep it on there. See if I can get this off. Okay, so I took the clamp off the motor right here, this guy. So you get that out of that bracket, and I just tilted it, lifted it up and tilted it, and here it is. I got access to the blower wheel. Look at that, came out. Here's a new blower wheel. Yeah, this thing is old. I don't expect a lot of people have to do this. Yeah, but some enthusiasts might still run into fixing these old guys. This probably will outlast any new dryer for another 20 years. Look at the heater, pretty antique. I'm sure they still sell the heater element. We run the wire spring. No, you gotta buy the whole thing. I think this whole thing would have to be replaced. So. Okay, goes back on. Okay, and this clip just holds it in place. This is one of the easiest, one of the best designs for the blower wheel to put it on and off. I mean, they do have, I think, even the easier one with like a pinch clip, but all the screw-on ones, oh my god, those are impossible to take off and put on. So sometimes reinventing the bicycle is not the best thing. I would just stick with what works. Okay, the blower is back in. Look at that. So glad it wasn't more of a hassle to get this thing in. I got stuck. This rod here actually runs all the way, and that's it. Basically makes it a spring. There's no spring. This rod basically becomes a spring. Because when I was pushing this thing back in place, I was like, what is this thing in the way? Because the pulley fell down. So I pulled it back up, and now yeah, I got plenty of room. Put it back in there. I put the clamp back on. The motor back in place. Just gotta screw it back in. Put it back together, see how it runs. One trick I learned when screwing multiple screws back in, sometimes it's hard to get the holes lined up, so I just put one in kind of loose, and then I put the rest of them in. If you tighten this one up and this one's misaligning, you have a hard time putting it all the way in. So kind of keep them a little loose, and then when you get them all, then screw it back in all the way. Okay, the blower back in. This is what I did with it by snaking it, and I'll try to explain it again how that happened. I haven't broke a blower wheel ever before, so I was snaking these bends here. A long bend, right? A lot of bends. I knew I had hit quite a few bends, and I hit that, I felt it, and then I felt that one, and I couldn't tell if it's the last one or not. So I stuck it a little further, and basically went in really easy. After I hit that last 90-degree corner, this one was like barely anything. It went wham and right into the motor. So all the new blowers have a actually 90-degree angle here. So the blower comes out like this, and then the vent comes out like this. So you have almost impossible to get that through that corner, especially after another 6 bends. It's really hard. But this one was so effortless and smooth. I didn't even know I was that far. So anyway, if you have this old dryer and you know that yeah, you don't want to break your blower wheel, try not to stick it too far in, even though it's almost impossible to do on any other dryer, but this one is designed really well. It has a very good airflow, so I mean, this really helps to get the air out of the dryer. For commercial, I understand you need that. So anyway, probably there's some other dryers designed that way, but I hope that saves you a blower wheel. So also, I was about to put the drum in. It's gonna go over. So this little piece, that's what this drum is riding on. Yeah, they some kind of plastic that's never gets worn out. I have replaced a few of these when they get squeaky. And these tabs that it slides on, sometimes they wear off. Never seen this type. This is definitely old. I don't think I'm able to buy a replacement. So, alright, the drum goes back in. One-handed. Oh, well, wow, success. One-handed. Let's put the. I usually put my belt right on the old spot. That makes it easier to put the pulley on. And yeah, let's run the pulley. Okay, here you go. The belt is on. And I usually turn it around a couple times so I know there's no twists. And I want to see the belt sitting in the same spot all the way around, and so it doesn't pop off of the pulley, because after you put it back together and if it pops off the pulley, you're not gonna be happy. Take it all apart again. Okay, the back is on. A really nice access panel in the back, so it makes it easy to put the belt on. Like I said, the other dryers usually have to do it from the front. Kind of blinded. You stick your head into the drum and stick the hands, reach back there through the side openings. I had to squeeze through this and that once. On some of them are very painful to put the belt on. Anyway, this one's pretty easy. The last thing I have to do is, look at this. That was a door switch that was broken and they just bypassed it. So this one, since it's a commercial, doesn't have a timer knob where you can just turn it off. So it just keeps running until you unplug it. If you open the door, it doesn't stop. Very dangerous. You can stick your hand in and get caught on one of these baffles. You can twist your elbow out. So definitely gonna put a new switch, which I don't have OEM one anymore. They don't make it, so I'm gonna try to rig one up. I'll show you what I'll do here. Okay, but first I'm gonna put the front back on, so it's gonna be easier to work on. I left my cables on, so it's a lot easier than trying to turn them on, unplug them all, and then I just propped it off so they're not stretching. I had the problem once when you flip this lid back and then it cuts the cables off here, so you always want to lean it against the wall or something so it's not stretching on those. Okay, so this is a three-way switch. Basically, I think you press on it and there's continuity between two of those. You release and continuity between two other ones. But I couldn't tell how hard it is to press it. Looks like it's a little harder than normal. And it's probably a little longer. That's the closest I could find to this guy. But the rest looks pretty similar. So I'm gonna try put it in, maybe reset it, set it in a little. I think it should be fine. Alright, I'm gonna get some connectors on these guys and see how it looks installed and if it works. Okay, now looks like it's a little different, a little longer, but I think I can make it work. This washer is a little too small, but about the same. The pressing, this presses a little shorter, so I'm gonna just recess this one a little bit in. I don't think it's gonna push the door open. Well, I think it looks pretty great. Just gotta find out which is which now. Okay, so these two have continuity when it's closed, and when it's open, these two. Okay, I got it. And looks like it's holding the door. There's a little bit of push from the switch, but the latching mechanism is pretty good. Keeps it. Okay, it'll be a lot better than no switch. Okay, here you go. This should do it. Sometimes you just gotta make it work. A lot of times the parts are not available, and that's okay. As long as we can find stuff that works. Here you go, both running nicely. The new door switch, new link traps. This is the old switch. We did the vents back there, snaked it. Good as new, another 40 years hopefully. Thanks for watching the channel, guys.